Hello and welcome once again to Akosia's vlog. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell when you're done. Today we are going to prepare a simple Ghanaian light soup recipe. This soup is made with love for all my cherished viewers and it has always been my mother and grandma's recipe. Come with me as I take you through. All you need is some habanero pepper, your stock cube, you need some tomato paste, onion. You also need some ginger, some fresh tomatoes, and then your AIDAN fruit. AIDAN fruit or PREKESE has a lot of benefits, and I'll tell you as we continue with the process today. Now we have our dry fish. This is called Kontoro by some people in Ghana, and we also have Akwaabi dry fish. Yes, this is Akwaabi dry fish. Also, we have WELE, which has been thoroughly cleaned and dried well. Also, I do have some mushrooms, and this mushroom is called Sibere or Kyekyekyere by some people in Ghana. We do have our salted beef and our salted pig feet. Now, let's start with our delicious soup for today. So my mom began by chopping the pig feet to the sizes that had already been chopped, and then we are going to wash it 2 to 3 times to remove some of the salt from it. Just look on the chopping board, the chunks of salt on it, and we don't want that in our food. Yes, if you don't wash it thoroughly, you won't be able to know the quantity of salt to add later on in your soup. Now we're going to make a very big soup, so we are washing it 2 to 3 times. And with this particular type of soup, if you don't take care, you're going to disgrace yourself with salt, and we don't want that. And don't also say because you are washing it 2 to 3 times, the salt is not going to be in the soup. No, just wash it, no salt today. Add lots of water to bring this to a boil. Now, whilst this is on the fire, we are going to thoroughly clean our WELE or our KAWURO. So we have some steel wool. This is going to be used to clean the inside of our WELE. I'm going to translate this in our local dialect. KAWURO no yedidade and nebidi Kyekyekyere. Aya KAWURO na wogana yana anua bebre wom sign baby a ye hata no nti no tide bia no wo horo adi kan fa dade efetwitwim na sa wo pempo afa wo se kaketua bi sa anua ana besia wo ma ubehu na wasa ato aso nti wo wie a wo de dade na twitwi ni nyina no make sure say nso bebre wo ma wo de besamfo mu dade no so betimi aka aduane nim ana ye mpese obedi aduane dade e de dade dem nti wo wie a wo horo ho kama beba ko anami no so uwia na de support emre enso so awohuru mu no na uwia wa wohuru akire no so nyina kama fefefe uye ni se ya aduane no abesia anabuo bia ananwea emma aduane nimu. So always make sure to use the steel wool first to clean the inside of your cow hide after you use the softer type of your sponge to also clean it thoroughly, whilst making sure that you have enough water to clean it or rinse it afterwards. Now when you're done, it's time to chop it into the sizes that you want. Our WELE or this type of WELE that we are using is very soft, so we are not going to start cooking the soup with WELE. If you have the hard type of WELE, you can cook it together with your pig feet and then you continue with the soup. Now just look at it. It's not well done. This is not what we are looking for, so we will let it cook again. Now after about 45 minutes, this is how milky our soup is. So this shows that the pig feet is well cooked or is almost soft, so you need to take some of the water out of the fire or out of the soup. Now if you use the whole soup without taking some of the water out, remember that I told you this is one of the most saltiest food in Ghana, and we don't want our food to be so much salty, yes, or too much salty, let me put it that way. So after I've taken some, I'm going to add my habanero pepper to it. Now this is according to how spicy you want your soup to be. I want my soup very spicy, so I added more, and then I'm going to cook it. After, I'm going to blend some onion and ginger. You can also add some garlic at this stage if you want. Now blend it till it's smooth, and by the time we are done, our pepper would also be well done, so we are going to take it out of the fire. Now if you are in Ghana, you have access to some garden eggs or some eggplants, so you can just add to the pepper and then cook it separately, or you can add it directly like I did over here, and then you take it out to blend it till it's smooth. Now, since I do not have garden eggs available, I'm going to add more onions to it. Remember, I've always been telling you that I love more onions in my soup because I don't like all these artificial spices, and onions are very sweet naturally when it's added to soup or stews. So I added it, and I'm going to give it a quick stir, add some stock cube to it. Stock cube is also according to your taste, so you can add more or less, or even omit it totally if that's what you want. And trust me, your soup will still turn out very great and nutritious. Yes. After, I'm going to add my tomatoes to it and make sure it cooks for about 5 to 7 minutes or till it's soft, and then I take it out of my cooking pot. This stage is also called seasoning of the meat. Yes, we are trying to make it more juicy, more nice, and more tasty at this stage. Cover it and allow it to simmer for 7 minutes or till the tomatoes are very soft, and then we take it out to blend. At this stage, we are going to blend our habanero pepper and our tomato together because it's not that much, and we don't want to waste electricity too. You can use your earthenware to blend it, and also use a sieve or colander to sieve it, so that if you don't like the seed in the pepper in your soup, that is also another way to go. But trust me, when it's blended smoothly, you don't even need to sieve it again. Remember that this soup is very salty, and that is why we divided the water that we used to cook our pig feet into two, so that later on, when you are done with the soup and you taste it and there's not enough salt, you can just add some of the stock into the soup, and then you'll be good to go. Other than that, you're gonna disgrace yourself if you don't take care preparing this particular soup. Yes, so my mother added water to it, and we are going to add all our dry fish. So we are going to add our ADWENE. This type of ADWENE is called Akwaabi, and then we are also going to add Kontoro to it, and trust me, we are going to make the best soup today. Yes, this is grandma's recipe, and it's so delicious and healthy as well. Now, for religious reasons, some people do not like pig feet, and I'm very sorry. Today is for those who love this type of soup. Yes, as a lady, as and when you cooking, you need to also be cleaning your space so that you don't get enough work to do afterwards. Now, this is our tomato and our habanero pepper. We blending it till it's very smooth, and then we are going to add it. Yes, since the pig feet had been thoroughly cooked and it's almost well done, our fish doesn't take a lot of time to also cook. So at this stage, we are just going to add our atosodeɛ or our ingredients into the food. We are just adding some water, and then to rinse our blender, and also we're going to give it a quick stir. Yes, this we are going to allow it to boil for some few minutes, and then we will be good to go. Yes. Now, I've missed our cherished viewers so much, and thank you for the patience. for the calls, for the many text messages and emails that you guys have been sending me. I appreciate it all, and I'm so grateful to be back with new and interesting recipes. Now we are washing our beef thoroughly too. This is also very salty. If you like, you can put it in water for some few minutes while waiting for its turn, and then you add it to the soup. Somebody will ask why we are adding the beef at this stage of the soup, and I'll tell you why. Beef is made with mutton or sheep meat. Let me explain it in simple terms. So for sheep meat, most of it is very soft, so you don't need to start the soup with it. And also with beef, most of the time it has a peculiar smell or scent that we need in our food, and trust me, adding it at this stage is very beneficial to the soup if you want that grandma's flavor. Yes, we added our tomato paste to the soup. If you want it more thick, you can add more of the tomato paste to it, and trust me, you're gonna love it. But you don't need too much tomato paste when we've already added some fresh tomatoes in this soup. Yes. Now while our soup is cooking on medium heat, we are going to chop our NTWERE or mushrooms into smaller sizes or into the sizes that you prefer. Yes, this particular type of mushroom is called Sibere or Kyekyekyere in Ghana, and it's so yummy. Yes, unfortunately we did not get a fresh one, so we are going to add the frozen one to it. But trust me, if you have the fresh ones, you are so good to go. We are adding it at this stage because it doesn't take a lot of time for mushrooms to cook thoroughly. Yes, about 5 to 10 minutes maximum, and then our mushrooms are ready to be eaten. When we're done, we are going to add our WELE to the soup too. WELE, like I told you, the one that we're using today is the soft type, and it also doesn't take a lot of time to soften. So we are just going to add it at this stage and allow it to simmer on medium to low heat till it's well done. Yes. Now, as in when you're cooking, just smell the flavors. Yes, when you start, it has a different flavor. As it's being well done, it also has a different flavor, and then you will know when it's ready. Now we are going to roast our PREKESE a little bit before adding it to our soup. If you have coal pot, trust me, you have the best. Now look at how it boils when you put it in the soup. Yes, it has this kind of flavor or this kind of sound like shh when you take it out of the coal pot. Yes, my grandmother used to wash it before she would just roast it, just so she'll have some of the ash together with the PREKESE and put it right in the soup. And as kids, we love the sound that it made, that shh sound when it's put inside the soup. PREKESE has a lot of nutritional benefits. It's also good to lower your blood pressure, so adding it in most of our African food is a must. Trust me, you will love it. Yes. Now look at how beautiful and gorgeous our soup is turning out to be. Look at how it's boiling nicely. Now another trick that my grandmother and my mother has always been telling us when preparing soup is always to be looking on top of it. When you start, it's always foamy on top, and as it's well done, it brings some little oil if the soup that you're preparing is not that oily type of soup, and if it's that oily like chicken and meat soup, you have a lot of oil on top of it and it doesn't have any foam, and at that stage you know that it's well done. Also, when the soup is thick, you can just add a little bit of water to unthicken it to your taste. Now you can also taste for salt at this stage. If it's not salty, you can just add a little bit of salty. I'm not adding any salt to this type of soup today because it's already good for me. Now look at the top of it. It has oil on top. The foam is almost clearing, and now we know that our soup is ready. Yes. Now allow it to simmer on low heat while you prepare your fufu and ready to serve. Yes. Obadi onu ankwan ese se bofoma na pai be maso na enu ankwan na ese se osofoma na pai adwene no ne PREKO nkyerɛ no ani mre ni nyina kekaboma na ye de Sheskamishes we nyina na se nkware ageda na wo bo sister. Now, the soup is so heavenly. The flavor is out of this world. Yes, I love this soup so much when my mother prepares it, especially when you are sick. Yes, with the spiciness and everything is top notch. Yes. Thank you, lovely people, for watching my video. Don't forget to comment, like, share me, and invite your friends to become a part of this family. And also subscribe so that anytime I upload any of my exciting videos, you'll be notified. Till we meet each other next time, it's bye-bye.